Hey, welcome to the Midships YouTube channel. I'm your Captain Corey, and today we're going to talk about depression. Tropical depression, Grace, as she makes her way to North America. Also, we have Fred making landfall right now, currently in the Florida Panhandle. More news from Disney. We have adjustments to some schedules on one of their ships and even one cancellation, so stay tuned for that. Also, we're going to talk about the port of Cozumel, finally scheduled to be full, completely full this month. So great news. We have an article we're going to cover from Royal Caribbean blog talking about the first ship to port from Galveston, Texas. So really good news there. Norwegian is going to be featured twice in today's episode. We also have Carnival getting 2 features. One of them not so great. They had a lot of outbreaks on a certain ship. We'll touch on that very briefly. I think it's been hammered to death on some of the other cruising channels. We're going to finish up with another story from Carnival about a new Chinese ship. And we'd also, before we get started, like to send our love and support to the Parodeejay channel. We hope that you guys get well. If you don't know what's happening, go ahead and check out their Carnival Mardi Gras sailing story. Watch it from the beginning. It will be linked below. All right, let's get started with the news. We have from the Sun-Sentinel in South Florida, the forecast of the latest track for tropical depression Grace. This is an article by David Schutz. We're just going to go ahead and move through the article here and give you an idea of some of the situations that could be building for us in the Gulf of Mexico. Looks like we have 2 things going on right now. We currently have Tropical Storm Fred, who right now, as of filming this episode, is currently making landfall in the panhandle of Florida. But also this coming weekend, if you have cruises out of South Texas, that Galveston cruise port down this way off of Houston, you could be affected. And if you're also traveling down into the Cancun area or down towards Belize, you could have your ports affected by Tropical Depression Grace, who's going to be in the Gulf of Mexico around Friday to Saturday of this week. So go ahead and stay safe out there. Next up, we're going to focus on the Disney Cruise Line. We've got some bad news coming if you are booked on the Disney Fantasy. The Fantasy sails out of Port Canaveral, and we'll read a quick article here from laughingplace.com. This is by the Laughing Place news desk. Disney Cruise Line has announced sailing changes for the Disney Fantasy with a cancellation completely of the September 4th sailing date. And 7-night sailings will now be changed to 4-night sailings. Let's try and get some more specificity on this so we don't run into questions like we did on last week's cancellation episode. How about that? What's happening? Disney Cruise Line has announced several changes to sailing dates for the Disney Fantasy, including a cancellation and cruises changing from 7 nights to 4 nights. The cruise line expects to resume sailing 7-night and longer voyages beginning on October 9th. So if you have a 7-night cruise booked before October 9th, check your email, check your cruise planner. It has likely been changed to a 4-night voyage. Let's talk about the cancellations, and we'll be specific. September 4th, 2021, the 7-night sailing has been canceled aboard the Disney Fantasy. Those who had booked this sail date and paid in full will be given a 125% future cruise credit for the line. If the cruise was not paid in full, a refund will be issued for the amount that was paid. All right. Perfect. If you would like to read more on these cancellations and changes for the Disney Fantasy, I will link to this website here, laughingplace.com, where you can read the entire article and get the full scope for Disney Cruise Lines. We're going to pan over to the port of Cozumel, a wonderful place, a place that many of the Midships family have been to and will be to again shortly. I know I'll be in Cozumel at least twice this year. Cozumel is expecting to be at full capacity here. Let's go ahead and read an article from RivieraMayaNews.com. August 16th. August will see all Cozumel cruise docks back to full operation. During the month of August, all of Cozumel's docks will be back in full operation. After a year and 3 months of suspending the arrival of cruise ships in the Mexican Caribbean due to COVID-19, the SSA Mexico terminal was the first to resume cruise operations on June 16th with the Adventure of the Seas and Puerto Maya. The second on July 8th with the arrival of Carnival Vista. Okay, so that's really great news. We have full operations resuming again in the port of Cozumel. So while we're speaking of Royal Caribbean, which we had just mentioned here, we have an article from Matt Hochberg. He runs RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. If you have not checked out his YouTube channel or his website, I would urge you to do it. The links will be below here. We're going to read an article. Royal Caribbean breaks ground on a new cruise terminal in Galveston, Texas. Construction on Royal Caribbean's new cruise terminal in Galveston was celebrated with an official kickoff ceremony over the weekend. On Saturday, Royal Caribbean and the Port of Galveston celebrated the start of construction of the Terminal 3 cruise terminal. Attending the groundbreaking was U.S. Congressman Randy Weber of Texas. Work on the new facility began 2 months ago, but the official groundbreaking ceremony was held to coincide with the Independence of the Seas departing Galveston, becoming the first Royal Caribbean cruise ship to sail from Galveston since March of 2020. Congratulations to Royal Caribbean for heading out of Galveston. I will be on board a Royal Caribbean ship out of Galveston on December 1st. So looking forward to see some of the Midships family on board. While we're taking this segue, I want to invite you to subscribe to the Midships YouTube channel. If you don't want to miss timely and punctual news about the cruise industry released the day it happens, when it happens, if you want to be the most informed person in the room, please subscribe to our channel. Give us a thumbs up. It's because of you that we're able to do this. Now, also, we have a giveaway planned for later this week, so you definitely want to be subscribed, as it will be a requirement to win the prize that we're going to be giving away. I think you're going to love this one. So we're going to hop over into Norwegian news. We've got a couple things to talk about from Norwegian. The first one is about the Norwegian Gem. In an article from cruiseindustrynews.com dated August 15th, Norwegian Gem back in service, cruising from Miami. Take a look at this cruise terminal. Oh my gosh. Norwegian Cruise Lines today marked its service resumption from Miami with the Norwegian Gem sailing from the Florida port from Norwegian's brand new terminal. Take a look at that thing. That's awesome. It's as big as the cruise ship is. Marking the third of the company's 17 ships to resume operations after Norwegian Jade, Norwegian Encore, and now the Norwegian Gem set sail today on a week-long voyage to the Caribbean with calls to Costa Maya and Cozumel, Roatan, Honduras, Harvest Cay, and the company's private resort in Belize. We have a quote, it looks like from the president and CEO of Norwegian Cruise Lines. It has been an exhilarating few weeks as we relaunch our fleet, reunite with our shipboard families, and welcome guests back for their long-awaited cruise vacations, says Harry Sommer. I've been impressed and proud of how our global team and partners have come together to safely bring back cruising, an over $55 billion industry that positively impacts communities around the world. So that is awesome news coming out of Miami for Norwegian. We also have even more awesome and exciting news. We have an article from the Orlando Sentinel. This is about a brand new ship heading towards Port Canaveral, the Midships home port. We have Norwegian Prima, Orlando Sentinel. Norwegian Cruise Line's newest class of ship is in the water for the first time after being floated out at its Italian shipyard ahead of its Port Canaveral arrival in 2022. So we have a video of this float out that I'm going to go ahead and roll over the rest of this article so you can go ahead and just enjoy the views of this beautiful ship, the Norwegian Prima. So enjoy the views. I'll continue with the article. We'll see you on the other end. Norwegian Prima, the first of 6 planned vessels with a new design for the line, is smaller than NCL's most recent vessels like Norwegian Escape, Joy, and Bliss. She comes in at 965 feet long, 142,500 gross tons, and has a guest capacity of 3,215 people. The ship slid from its dry dock into the water at the Fincantieri shipyard on Friday, marking the completion of external work on the vessel, including the hull artwork by Italian graffiti artist Manuel de Rita, who is also known as Pita. A ship's float-out is always a significant milestone, but this one is particularly special, said NCL President Harry Sommer. Our 18th ship, Norwegian Prima, represents an exciting new chapter for our brand and the first vessel to be delivered in our groundbreaking new Prima class. So that is excellent news. We have a brand new ship to sail on next year out of Port Canaveral. Congratulations to Norwegian Cruise Line. Now, we're riding kind of high, but we have to touch on this outbreak that happened of COVID-19 on a Carnival ship last weekend. I know it's been hammered to death by some of the other cruise YouTube channels, so we're not going to touch on it too long, but I would be remiss if I did not at least update you on the situation. So, from stuff.co.nz, 27 people aboard cruise in Belize test positive for COVID-19. A Carnival cruise has seen 27 people test positive for COVID-19 just before the ship made a stop in Belize City. The positive cases were among 26 crew members and 1 passenger on the Carnival Vista, which is carrying over 1,400 crew and nearly 3,000 passengers. The Belize Tourism Board said in a statement, "The ship arrived on Wednesday in Belize City. All 27 with COVID-19 were vaccinated, had mild to no symptoms, and were kept in isolation," according to a statement. The Tourism Board said 99.98% of the ship's crew is vaccinated, as well as 96.5% of her passengers. Carnival said in a statement Friday that it was managing a small number of positive COVID cases, but they did not specify the number. What do you guys think? I'd like to hear your opinions below this video. Should the cruise lines tell us as new cases are found on the ship? Do you feel like it's fair to leave people in the dark, or would you rather just not really know what's going on and enjoy your cruise? So comment below. I was going to go over an article sort of about that today, but I would rather inspire some conversation in the comments section. So we're going to go into one more story today. This is also about Carnival. This is for the Asian market. Carnival's first Chinese constructed cruise ship is now taking shape. In an article by Robert McGilvery, dated August 15th. In 2015, Carnival Corporation announced it would be launching a new cruise line under operator CSSC Carnival Cruise Shipping that would operate multiple ships specifically for the Chinese and Asian markets. The first cruise ship is now currently taking shape, and it's roughly halfway to her proposed delivery schedule. Many see China as the most significant potential growth market worldwide, and several cruise lines have already committed ships to China, including Costa Cruises, Princess, MSC, and Royal Caribbean. So we don't actually know the name of this ship yet. We just have a hull number here. We're going to skip forward in the article. I just wanted you to take a look at some of these images. The first effort is so far only known by its project name, Hull H1508. This is the first of 233,000 gross ton cruise ships that are based on the plans for the Vista-class ships currently sailing for Carnival Cruise Line, which will be both launched in 2023 and have space for 4,200 passengers each. Wow, look at this. These are beautiful. That is the news for today. You are now up to date. If you don't want to miss more news, more information, and the giveaway later this week from Midships, please subscribe to our channel. And until next time, we'll see you on the Midships.